Hey, Big Brother fans, we've got live feed spoilers on who won the veto competition and who is coming off the block and who will be the renom as Ava's HOH reign continues to rock the BB27 house. It's Belinda, and I've got all the scoop you need on what happened in the Big Brother house Saturday leading up to the veto competition, what Mickey is trying to pull, who played in the veto, who won it, and what collateral damage is coming. But first, please click subscribe if you are not following us. So we had Ava putting up Zach, Keanu, and Vince, and two of the three guys were totally blindsided. Keanu, of course, probably expects to be on the block every week until he goes home or wins it. But Zach and Vince did not take it very well. Zach grilled Ava, demanding to know who dropped his name as if she couldn't decide to nominate Zach on her own. And Vince was his usual tears in the mustache, poor pitiful me thing when he final two'd himself right onto the block. Let's be real. Morgan told Vince that Mickey was the one behind him and Zach being on the block. That's not true at all. Ava also cleared the air with Keanu. Basically, she said nomming him was about their POV comp beef, and Ava said now they're square, and Keanu's actually okay with it. Zach's trying to blame Rachel and was pouting to Lauren about Ava not giving him any warning he'd be nominated. Pretty boy Zach has been moving things behind the scenes for weeks to put up other people, but he can't handle it when it's his turn on the block. Boo freaking who. Ava is standing by her noms because Vince and Zach are major house threats that haven't seen the block. Also, leading up to the veto comp, Morgan was saying if she won the veto, she would take down either Vince or Zach. That conversation happened before the player draw. Rylie didn't want to play in the veto comp at all because all three nominees would press him to use it on them. Vince talked to Ava about who's her real target for the week, and she gave him nothing. That's what she gave Zach to when he pressed her, and I love that Ava is standing firm and not revealing her plans. I think the reason that Ava's gameplay is upsetting the house so much, but really appeals to me, is that she's playing old school Big Brother, the kind where people didn't vote in blocks and didn't run around the house blabbing everything to everyone, and unanimous votes were rare. So Zach complained to Will and Morgan that Ava didn't say jack squat to him before nomming him. And then Zach said Ava told him, and this is funny, "You're a big boy. You can figure it out." He was so upset. Dial 911, get the ambulance for Zach because he is seriously butthurt, and I think it's hilarious. Rylie, Mickey, and Catherine all want Keanu out this week, but Will thinks it needs to be Vince or Zach. And Ava did have a bit of buyer's remorse about not nominating Morgan to sit next to Vince and Zach from the outset, because she was saying if she got picked to play veto, she'd mess up the nom. So Rylie plans to throw the comp if he wound up getting picked to just avoid the whole mess. Keanu was confident Rachel would play veto for him and take him off the block if she won. Morgan doubted it. And again, this is all leading up to the player pick. Meanwhile, Rylie was upset, and he doesn't think that Ava is running her HOH the right way. He said she's doing it wrong. Rylie was ranting about her not having one-on-ones, which that's true, but that's her business. And that's because Ava's mind is made up. And Rylie's mad that Ava is sleeping a lot. She talked in the confessionals about the light and just everything and the snoring, and it's hard to sleep in that house. She's not doing one-on-ones, but Vince has been all over the house doing them with everybody, desperately trying to shore up votes in case he's still on the block. And leading up to the comp, Keanu was actually considering using the veto on Vince if he wins it. And sure, Jan, whatever you think. Then there was the player pick for the veto comp, and Catherine and Will were chosen, and they played alongside HOH Ava and nominees Keanu, Vince, and Zach. I was personally cheering for Ava to win HOH. I love when the head of household wins and doubles their power. But she low-key wanted Keanu to win it and take himself off the block so she could renom Morgan. If Ava won it, she planned to leave noms the same. And again, Zach gets to hold off until after the veto comp to play that $10,000 advantage and get off the block. I think he can play it at the meeting on Monday. So had Zach won the veto, he could play it on Vince and then use his power to take himself on the block, which would leave Keanu there and forcing Ava to make 2 replacement noms. Right now, she's in the dark with no idea. She might have to make 5 nominations this week. So before the veto comp, Ava let Mickey know that Morgan would be the renom because she's been talking about targeting her and talking shiz about her nominations. And Ava told Mickey, I don't give a, I'll take the heat. And Mickey was trying to talk Ava out of it, basically because she's an ally. And it's like, hello, Mickey, what did you do with your allies when you were HOH? All right, before I tell you who won the power of veto, one quick thing, a fun little tidbit. We also, Catherine kissed rodeo clown Rylie, but according to her aunt, who knows Kat well, it's not the real deal. Kat's aunt said, quote, love is not in the air, full stop. So I don't think anybody at home is appreciating Kat getting close to creepy Rylie. And now to the power of veto results. The feeds were down for more than 3 hours on Saturday while they played the Yankee Swap POV comp. I don't know the nature of the comp, but the prizes were the Yankee Swap. And when they came back up, Ava had $5,000. Will had a trip to London for him and his chocolate drop. And guess who won the golden power of veto? It is the Jessie to Rylie's Woody. Catherine won the comp. The big question is, will she play it? Rylie is very dissatisfied with Ava's HOH. He's all hot air about how she's not playing it right. But if Catherine takes down a nominee, then Rylie could be named a renom. They'd better think hard about that. But Ava isn't upset that Kat won the POV. Ava and Will talked about it upstairs after the comp. This was a really fun convo. Ava told Will, if she uses it, great. If she doesn't use it, effing great. IDGAF. They are all going up, period. And I got $5,000. Let's go. Let's play this game. She was so excited. Ava also said that she was thrilled. A girl won the veto and she doesn't give a rat's ass what Catherine does with it so long as America can see it. And then her sentences were kind of broken up, but basically she said 3 big ass guys, Keanu, who's never lost a GD veto, Zach, who's Mr. Perfect, and Vinny the Lip Vincenzo all lost to Catherine. And she said, let's go. So what's really going to thrill Ava is if Zach plays his power and she gets $10,000 more and is going to walk away from her HOH with 15 grand in her vintage pocket. And here's where things also get funny. Will was asking Ava, just as a double check after the comp, to confirm that Zach and Vince were going to vote to evict him. And it was Ava that talked them out of it. And she goes, yeah. So now Will is screwing with Zach. Will told Zach he's going to talk to Kat and Ava and ask Kat to use the veto on Zach. And Will said he's going to suggest that Ava renom him as a pawn. So none of that is happening, and Will is just getting a little karmic retribution, screwing with Zach, of course, and that's predicated on the fact that Will and Ava don't know that Zach can pull himself off the block. Either way, if Zach will come down off the block. I don't think that Kat's going to use the veto on him. I think Will's just messing around. But Zach is going to pull himself down, and that means Morgan is 99% the renom unless something drastic changes. Come back soon for more BB27 spoilers from the feeds, and I'll get back to you with more veto plans ahead of Monday's veto ceremony.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.